Welcome back to Deck Officer Training. In this video, we will be covering Rule 3, General Definitions. Rule 3 states, for the purpose of these rules, except where the context otherwise requires, A. The word vessel includes every description of watercraft, including non-displacement craft, wig craft, and seaplanes, used or capable of being used as a means of transportation on water. B. The term power-driven vessel means any vessel propelled by machinery. The term sailing vessel means any vessel under sail, provided that propelling machinery, if fitted, is not being used. D. The term vessel engaged in fishing means any vessel fishing with nets, lines, trawls, or other fishing apparatus which restrict maneuverability, but does not include a vessel fishing with trolling lines or other fishing apparatus which do not restrict maneuverability. E. The word seaplane includes any aircraft designed to maneuver on the water. The term vessel not under command means a vessel which, through some exceptional circumstance, is unable to maneuver as required by these rules, and is therefore unable to keep out of the way of another vessel. G. The term vessel restricted in her ability to maneuver means a vessel which, from the nature of her work, is restricted in her ability to maneuver as required by these rules, and is therefore unable to keep out of the way of another vessel. The term vessels restricted in their ability to maneuver shall include but not be limited to 1. A vessel engaged in laying, servicing, or picking up a navigation mark, submarine cable, or pipeline. 2. A vessel engaged in dredging, surveying, or underwater operations. 3. A vessel engaged in replenishment or transferring persons, provisions, or cargo while underway. 4. A vessel engaged in the launching or recovery of aircraft. 5. A vessel engaged in mine clearance operations. VIX. A vessel engaged in a towing operation such as severely restricts the towing vessel and her tow in their ability to deviate from their course. The term vessel constrained by her draft means a power-driven vessel which, because of her draft in relation to the available depth and width of navigable water, is severely restricted in her ability to deviate from the course she is following. 1. The word underway means that a vessel is not at anchor, or made fast to the shore or aground. J. The words length and breadth of a vessel mean her length overall and greatest breadth. K. Vessels shall be deemed to be in sight of one another only when one can be observed visually from the other. L. The term restricted visibility means any condition in which visibility is restricted by fog, mist, falling snow, heavy rainstorms, sandstorms, or any other similar causes. The term wing in ground, WIG, craft, means a multimodal craft which, in its main operational mode, flies in close proximity to the surface by utilizing surface effect action. Part A. Every description of watercraft. Anything that can float and move on water counts as a vessel. Non-displacement craft. This refers to hovercraft or hydrofoils that ride above the water, not just traditional boats with holes in the water. Wig craft. Special craft that fly just above the water surface using ground effect. Seaplanes. Aircraft with the ability to take off from and land on water. When on the water, they are treated as vessels. Used or capable of being used as a means of transportation on water. If the craft can be used to transport people or goods on water, it is counted as a vessel. Part B. Any vessel. This applies to all vessels, large or small, regardless of shape or purpose. Propelled by machinery. If the vessel is moved by an engine or motor, it is considered power-driven. Part C. Any vessel under sail. If you are solely using the wind via sails to move, you are considered a sailing vessel. Propelling machinery, if fitted, is not being used. Even if the vessel has an engine installed, it only qualifies as a sailing vessel when the engine is off. Part D. Restrict maneuverability. To be considered as engaged in fishing under this rule, The equipment must limit the vessel's ability to move or change course easily, but does not include a vessel fishing with trolling lines or other fishing apparatus which do not restrict maneuverability. Recreational fishing boats using trolling lines, rod and reel, or light gear that does not affect how the boat can steer do not count as engaged in fishing. Part E. Designed to maneuver on the water. The aircraft must be able to float, take off from, land on, or taxi across water. Part F. Exceptional circumstance is unable to maneuver. Something unusual or unexpected has happened. This could be engine failure, steering failure, loss of propulsion, or electrical failure. Unable to keep out of the way of another vessel. It is now the responsibility of other vessels to take avoiding action because the not under command vessel cannot. Part G. Nature of her work. The vessel is carrying out a job that makes it hard or unsafe to change course or speed. Unable to keep out of the way. She cannot follow the normal collision avoidance rules as easily as other vessels. Part H. Her draft in relation to the available depth and width of navigable water. The surrounding water is just deep and wide enough for the ship to pass safely. Severely restricted in her ability to deviate from the course she is following. The ship cannot safely turn or move out of the way, otherwise it may run aground. Part I. A vessel is underway when it is not anchored, not tied to the shore, not aground. Anytime a vessel is floating freely and not fixed in place, even if it is just drifting or stopped in the water. Part J. Length. Refers to the overall length of the vessel, measured from the furthest point forward to the furthest point aft. Breadth. Refers to the widest point of the vessel, measured across the beam from one side to the other. Part K. In sight of one another. A vessel is physically seen with the human eye, either by looking at the vessel during the day or seeing its navigation lights at night. This does not mean detected by AIS or radar. Part LEV. Restricted visibility. Refers to any condition that prevents you from seeing clearly, especially other vessels, lights, land, or navigational hazards. This includes fog, mist, falling snow, heavy rain, or sandstorms. Any other similar causes. Other natural or environmental factors such as smoke from fire or sea spray. Part M. Wig craft. A vehicle that flies just above the surface of the water, using a phenomenon known as ground effect. Multimodal craft. It operates partly like a ship and partly like an aircraft. Surface effect action. Refers to the increased lift and decreased drag when flying close to the water or ground. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and check out some of our other videos here.